What's going on, people? CP3 in the building. Redskins victory week 9, 17-14, improbable victory over Kansas City. I'm in a good mood right now. I didn't think this was going to be a win. I'll say that off the break. I thought Jay was going to get out-coached and this team was going to lose. And it wasn't even going to be pretty. But the defense stepped up outstanding today. And anybody that has a problem with this defense obviously doesn't know football. And this team stepped up. Besides that one touchdown that Seattle got, the defense stepped up big time. So that Josh Doctson catch was huge. He finally held on. And I'm so boosted about that because last week he had a catch he should have caught. He didn't. We had a possible touchdown catch that he could have had that he didn't get. But this week he held on. Hey, Dan, what's going on? Yeah, the defense was a beast. We got Robbie tuning in, rocking the nice Sports of the Hill podcast sweatshirt. I see you wrap it. I got the hat. You got the sweat. What's going on, man? Brian, what's going on, man? Glad you chimed in. What you thought about this game, Robbie?
All right. It was a crazy game for me. So I was celebrating my goddaughter's 10th birthday. So I was sort of watching on my phone a little bit, getting score updates. We were driving back. I was trying to rush back to my parents' house to catch the fourth quarter. I get an alert that there is a fumble that is returned in the end zone for a touchdown, and we lost the lead, and I was so distraught. And then I got another update saying it had been overturned. I'm like, oh, we still have a chance. And so we're rushing here. I get to watch the last 7 minutes of the game or so live from my parents' house. And it was an incredible experience. I got to do it with my grandfather, who just turned 90, with my parents, with my wife, and we were rooting them on. And it was just this crazy back and forth ending that got me real nervous, especially with the missed two-point conversion. And then for us to go down the field, Kirk Cousins has had a lot of these opportunities. And I know that 10 times I think he's done it where he's come and we've won a game on a game-winning drive. But a bunch of the weeks recently, we've got an interception or a big play gone against us. And next thing you know, we get that huge play, as you were saying before, to Josh. And I couldn't believe he caught it. Then he get at the 1 yard line. I kind of thought he should take a kneel and try to take some of that more clock out. Because I was like, I don't even want to give him a minute on the clock because you could see already how far they were able to drive. But I was happy we got it in there. We took the lead, and it was an incredible experience. And then our defense held on strong. And what a play by D'Angelo Hall in his first game back of the season to deflect that ball away at the very last moment to preserve the victory, because that Hail Mary was inches away from being good. And this game could have gone a very different way. I did not pick us to win this game. I know a lot of people did not pick us to win this game. I am super excited that we did. We needed this win. Gets us back to 4-4 on the season. And we've got some big games coming up that I know that we'll break down on tomorrow's podcast. But, man, I'm excited to do a Victory Monday tomorrow with you, Carol. We got a lot of exciting stuff. I know the Caps are playing at 7 o'clock, so we'll go over that game live. The Wizards have been playing well. I know they've got a game on, I believe it's right now, actually. And so that will be exciting. We'll go over the Wizards games. We're going to have Mike and Arun hopefully on for that, and we'll do the pick'em segment in overtime. But it's going to be an exciting show for sure. I'm excited to talk about this victory, and I actually watched your halftime show. Your halftime show is how I got caught up in the first half, so I really appreciated that as well, and I'm excited overall. So, Carol, what were some of your thoughts?
Like you touched on, it was D Hall played great. I wasn't expecting him to be as active and do as much as he did. He actually brought some more leadership to the secondary along with Swearinger. That's why I think the defense balled out like they did, having another veteran presence out there that was actually healthy and could make an impact on the game. The special teams, they didn't cost us. They played pretty well with him returning punts. He actually returned one and got some positive yards. The offense is what had me frustrated. It was definitely frustrating. Let me get to some of the comments. We got a lot of folks chiming in. Appreciate y'all, Allison, Steven, James. Appreciate y'all tuning in, Christian. We still got to talk about some other things offline. But, Christian said, Doctson, what a catch. Steve Dickinson was talking about he was going to turn the game off. but he didn't. Yeah, it was an upset. Yeah, I'm glad you called it, Allison, because I definitely didn't have this as a win. I said earlier it was going to be an uphill battle, and if Jay pulled it off, I would give him a little bit of reprieve, even though I'm still talk about him. Hashtag Bill Callahan for offensive coordinator is my new hashtag. I'm started officially in the third quarter, and I'm going to push that for the time being. Y'all join in whenever y'all got any Redskins talk. Hashtag it Bill Callahan for OC, because something's got to change. We see Sean McVay in L.A., highest scoring offense in the league. They put up 51 points today. You know, they doing it. We know who the offensive genius of the staff was. It's obvious like the person that's here today. So, hashtag Bill Callahan for OC. James Harster said impressive performance, as ugly as it was, but some nobody offensive lineman and defense rock. I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day, as Preston Smith said a couple of weeks ago. Christian said patchwork team on both sides of the ball, said it resembled the Crossland High JV football team. I ain't even going to talk about that. Christian said the Wiz playing now without Wall. Yeah, he's been out with the shoulder. I meant to post it during the game, but the game was so good I didn't get a chance to. Last I checked, Wiz were up by 11 in the fourth quarter. They were letting Toronto back in a little bit, but they were playing well and playing well without John Wall. What's the score now, Robbie? I know you probably watched.
Yeah, I got a scoring update at least through Google, so it's not quite live, but it's 82-70 in the third quarter. The Raptors are 5-3. The Wizards are 4-4. We're in Toronto right now. The Raptors have outscored us 24-20, I believe, in the third quarter. But we had a really good first quarter, up 32-17. So I know that we'll definitely cover that more on tomorrow's Wizards segment. But hopefully we can hold on. Again, it's about a 12-point lead as of right now. Actually, we just scored a bucket, so now it's a 14-point lead. So that's good. We'll definitely break that down more. But hopefully we can get a victory there, and then we can do the trifecta with the Caps winning as well. So it's going to be a busy night, especially that important game against the Coyotes that I know that we've got some friends that are going to be at all the way down from the other side of the world. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But I see that Ken Washington is watching this. Hail to the Redskins. So
let me get some more of the comments. They're starting to back up a little bit. Mark Stewart said the defense saved us. They stopped playing Pryor. Pryor came up with a nice catch on the third down on that first touchdown drive, and he's getting in where he fits in. You can't take him off the field and expect him to develop as a number one receiver if he don't get the snaps. Can't have it both ways, Mark. Come on now. Allison said, proud of the D. What a performance by D. Hall. Agree. Yeah, Christian, I'm gonna definitely hit you up. Steve Dickens said he could not run the football, but the Seahawks probably have a tough 7. We could have ran the ball. We only had 50 when I'm watching Jay Gruden right now. We only had 51 rushing yards, but his play calls are some doo-doo. Why are you trying to run out of the 3 wide receiver set with the tight end blocking? You saw what Pete Carroll did. He brought in an extra offensive lineman to get their running game going when they tried to take momentum. What did Jay do? He went to 3 and 4 wide receiver sets and tried to run out of 3 wide receivers with tight end. I don't want to hear that stuff about our running game isn't good. If you don't give it an honest try, it's not going to work. He's disguising it so he can say the running game isn't working, so he can justify the passing game. If you get real with the passing game, put 2 tight ends in there, bring in an offensive lineman, like he did on that goal line play when he brought in Ryan Anderson as the fullback, you show you dedicated to running the ball. All that shit is for show. Toss sweep to Kelly and the off tackle to Chris Thompson are his bailout plays to say he only got 2 yards, I got to run the ball. I don't want to hear that nonsense no more. That's BS. That's Jay Gruden bailout BS that the media let him get away with, and I don't let him get away with it because I'm going to call him on that bull. What's up, Ken? Hail to the Redskins and you too, man. Christian, hope the momentum carry over to the Vikes too. Yeah, the Vikes playing some good ball, and their defense we know has been tough for a long time. John says incredible game. Yeah, it definitely was. Ken said he's going to call in tomorrow, Robbie. So, yeah, we got so many guests and so many callers. It's going to be a full show.
We'll definitely
Steve
on the
said,
OT.
oh, yeah, the OT. Yeah, and y'all definitely check out the OT for the NFL Weekly Pick'em. I don't get a chance to be a part of that. Unfortunately, after the show, I got other things to do. But Robbie has a great panel that they have different guests calling every week and give their weekly pick'ems and talk about all other sports-related topics. Might be some Wiz, might be some Nats, might be some Capitals. Who
World
knows?
Series.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Jamie said looked like Cousins held the ball too long. I think we needed more quick passes. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks in a row. Kurt's been holding on to the ball a little bit too much and taking unnecessary sacks. forgive the reference, but he's looking a little bit like RG3 in his early years, deer in the headlights when he should make the decision to throw the ball away or at least run, and he's just standing there shook. But it was a win. He played game management, which I said he is. He isn't a game breaker. He's a game manager. And if you have balance in the run game, then he can excel. On the drives that we score touchdowns, even though we didn't get a big hit on the running game, we still kept the defense honest. And then when you run the ball, even if you're getting 2 or 3 yards, they have to respect the play action pass. And that's how Vernon Davis was getting open so much going across the middle. This goes back to the Mike Shanahan offense with the zone read when Pierre Garçon was wide open and going across the middle because they had to respect the run with that jab step by Robert Griffin. Now, if you're going to go away from the run and you're going to force the pass, at least put your big guys out there every snap to get better, not have Pryor sitting on the sideline for the first half and don't get a snap into the second half. So that doghouse that Jay has, he need to throw his ass in the doghouse because his play calling, suspect. He had 2 good drives out of a possible, 12, 13?
It's true.
And he's going to stay. I know. I don't even have the sound on because I don't even want to hear what he got to say because whenever we win, he got everything to say in the world, but whenever we lose, he got to go check the tape. So I don't even want to hear what he got to say because I know he's going to stick his chest out like he the man. He had 2 good drives in that game. Luckily, they came at the right time, and the defense played their ass off with backups. What do you think about that defense, Robbie? You know how much I love defense, man. What do you think about it?
I mean, that last play says it all, right? I mean, bend don't break. We let them, get into an opportunity where they had a Hail Mary. I'm happy that his knee was down. They only had 4 seconds, 1 play remaining. We're also lucky that the field goal kicker missed 3, important field goals in a game that was decided by 3 points. So, I think our defense bailed us out big time because I think that, all those kicks, we obviously were keeping them just beyond the sticks. Any one of those drives that ended in a touchdown instead of a field goal could have made the difference in that game because they missed those field goals. So the defense obviously played big. I'll have to go back and watch the tape a little bit more before getting on the show tomorrow because I only watched the last 7 minutes live and not through stats and all the stuff that I was doing. But I was happy that we were able to hold them and be able to, at a time in this game, we had given up a safety, but we were up by 2 points. And so in the end, we were able to win by 3. But it obviously shows how important the defense was because they bailed out the offense. The offense almost gave up 9 points. Now that fumble recovery for a touchdown was overturned, but our offense almost put us in a major hole scoring-wise as well. So I was happy to do it. I'm going to have to run, but I can't wait to talk to you more about this on the podcast tomorrow at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock for the Redskins. I know you've got a lot more to say, and then I'm sure you're going to take a lot of these questions, and if people want to chime in and do a show with you, I encourage that as well, and encourage more questions. And thank you for all the people that are watching this live and people that are watching this later. I hope that you've enjoyed it so far. And Carol, I'll definitely chat with you tomorrow, and hail to the Redskins victory Monday.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, Rob, you be safe getting home. I'll holler at you later on. We got to, get everything set up for the show tomorrow. Holler at you. If anybody else wanted, if you want to get on Facebook Live with me, jump on, send the invite, and, hey, you can wrap it up too, man. We're going to have more interaction. If you want to get on, by all means. Let's see. John says our defense was incredible. What kept us in the game, no doubt. Val, man, get that 49er stuff out of here. Cousins need to come to the 49. Y'all just got a quarterback this week. I hope Kurt stays here because he's the best option we got. But we can only wait and see. John said the defense finally finished the game. Well, even though the time of possession wasn't in our favor, they stepped up big time, and they played well, and Greg Minuski deserves the game ball for having his team ready to play, even with the injuries before the start of the game and the injuries that happened during the game. Allison said, Jay Gruden for Doghouse. Agreed. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I'm just venting about what I see, man. I see this every week, week in, week out. I say it over and over again that the coach should either help the team win or is going to hold the team back. And luckily, Jay was able to make enough adjustments to win this game with 2 successful drives that was able to hold off Seattle with the way the defense was playing. Junior Gillette, even though he didn't get a sack, get credited with a sack, had a hell of a game. When he got in there, he was causing pressure. He actually would have had a sack if Zach Brown pursuit didn't cut him off and Zach slipped and allowed Russell Wilson to get away. Doug Baldwin, who I spoke about earlier, the team pretty much kept him in lock. He had that one touchdown and had that 1 15-yard catch for a crucial first down. But for the most part, the team held him down. And you gotta respect what this team is doing. Even though they're 4-4, 500, that's cool. Week 9, I'll take that because the team had a tough schedule. Yeah, Steve, Zach Brown is superb. We need to lock that man up. He's definitely solidified this linebacking core, and he shows his worth week in and week out, leading the team in tackles. He led the league in tackles last year playing in Buffalo. We got him free agency as a steal, in my opinion, and that was the best move of all offseason. I hope they lock him up long term. Brown and Compton played very well. Yeah, Compton, he was the starter last year. I've been a Will Compton fan since he came in as an undrafted rookie out of Nebraska. I was watching tape on him, and I love what he brought to the team. But when you get a talent like Zach Brown and Mason Foster was playing well, like I talked about before, the talent on this team is getting better when you have to sit quality players to get better players on the field. When we're cutting players and they're getting picked up, like I spoke about Nate Sudfeld, we cut him. Now he's on the active roster for the Eagles. Remember a few years back when we was cutting players and you never heard from them again? They was flipping burgers or selling real estate or doing whatever. That lets you know this team is improving. Like I said last week when I got on my soapbox talking about, folks was clowning about winning off the field. That's what it's all about. The talent level is getting better. The hunger for winning is getting better. That was a gut check win today. That was a team that wanted to win today. When they went down back in the past, the team would have hooked their head down and it'd have been over. They'd have went out and turned the ball over and the game would have been over. They'd have been in Seattle would have been a kneel down formation. But this team went out there, got to drive together despite Jay's play calling throughout the whole game. Kurt still stepped up, made a hell of a throw. Took a hell of a hit. Josh Doxson stepped up, finally caught the ball. He's had 2 weeks that he's almost had a catch that would have changed the game or scored a game-winning touchdown. He came up huge. I would have loved for it to be a touchdown because the dude didn't touch him, but I'll take that. He deserves a game ball. Val asked him what kind of offense do we run. Man, we run pull-it-out-your-ass offense for Jay Gruden. I don't know what to call this offense. I call it discombobulated because he calls plays with no rhyme or reason. He doesn't use any strategy. He doesn't set anything up. And he has the ego that whatever he calls, his players need to step up and make instead of him adjusting his playbook to the talent that he has on the field. So I'll leave it at that. Don, the team played with heart big time. They've been showing that all season. And this game was a gut check, and they stood up. And they answered the bell even with all the injuries before the game and during the game. Yeah, once the offensive line get back, we'll be okay. Sheriff, he dressed, but he was a game-time decision. He didn't play. Trent, he talked about his knee earlier. He, that trip across Seattle all the way across Seattle, we already said that wasn't going to be a start for him because that swelling and being on the plane that long is improbable. Laval, I could really give a damn when he supposedly gets healthy. He could stay hurt for all year. I give a damn. They could put him on IR right now and make his ass walk home from Seattle if he made the trip, and I wouldn't have no sympathy. Morgan Moses, he played well on 2 sprained ankles. So you got to give this team credit. You got to look at this team and say this is not your same old regular Redskins team that we're used to. They've been stepping up and playing well. Yeah, John said they have tried the West Coast offense. It's like a mix. It's West Coast based. It's not a West Coast offense. Jay uses the tight ends more in his offense, more than the outside receivers. He uses more downfield threats in the traditional West Coast offense. You don't take as many shots downfield. So Jay has like a hybrid offense that he so-called runs, but whatever it is overrated. Sean McVay is the one, the brains behind the top-ranked offense last year. The proof is in the pudding. You see what the Rams are doing. You see what our offense is doing. Game, set, match. Val said that they tried with Cousins. I think they tried it a little bit his first year. I mean, they mix up so much. You in the NFL, you can't be considered one type of offense because your defenses are so talented now. They're going to make adjustments, and if you're just one type of offense and they make the adjustment to shut it down, you're done. So you have to mix in a lot of things, and we've seen that in the past weeks with the opponents of the Redskins. You can go back to the Kansas City game with Andy Reid. Redskins dominated 10-0 in the first quarter. What did he do the second quarter? Started using misdirection, using the wide receiver on reverse action, bringing them behind the quarterback to make the defense have to take a step back, take that second to see what's really going on and not over-pursue something from the backside or leave a gap open for the team to get an advantage. So you can do a lot of things by disguising things and adding different wrinkles to your offense even when you're limited in personnel. So that's why I say I don't want to hear that about the injury bug that we don't have the personnel to get picky with our formations. You can do all types of things if you have the imagination, and a true offensive coordinator will. I'm a defensive coordinator, so I study offense, but I know defense. But if you study defense, you have to know the offense also because you have to know how to counter it. It's like Jay doesn't take the time to understand what defense really is about. We saw that in the first years of his coaching when he was having issues with the defensive coordinator. I can't remember which one it was. We've had Jim Haslett, maybe, I don't know. But I don't think he studies the game. I think he uses his arrogance as an excuse not to get into the nuances, the strategy, and the real game planning that goes into a real game plan. We see how the team plays. They said they had a 6-drive streak on the opening drive of getting the score. That's because Jay scripts his first 15 plays like most NFL coaches do. And after that, he goes by the so-called feel of the game. His feel is off. His feel is still stuck in the Arena League. And if he keeps this up, he need to take his ass back to the Arena League. Now, I'm sitting here watching the post-game extra on CSN. The only reason why I'm watching is because I tweeted some stuff out, and I want to see if it come across the screen. But this is why I'm doing what I do, because I'm not going to sit here and regurgitate the same BS. They're going to sit there and toot Jay's horn, toot Kurt's horn, all that good stuff. I'm going to call a spade a spade. We got the win. It was an ugly win, but Jay had to step his game up. Kurt played well enough to win, but he had to step his game up. Val says Kurt needs the West Coast. He fits the West Coast offense because he doesn't have the great arm strength to get it down the field, but he's good enough when he's comfortable and have confidence in his receivers. He can be in any offense, and he hasn't built that confidence with these new wide receivers. With Pierre and Jordan Reed and Deshaun Jackson, you saw he had the confidence. He hasn't built that confidence with them yet. That's why I said he has to get on the field. Yeah, Val, that was a tough one in Seattle. We haven't had no success in Seattle. I think this might have been, the first win in a long time in Seattle. I got to even pull it up before I write my article. But you know the quick takes is coming out. I'm going to work on that after I get off of here. You know, take me another drink or two, do a little bit of celebrate. I might do a little Gatorade bath or something, you know, celebrating his improbable victory. I don't know. I ain't going to feel like cleaning up later on, so I probably won't. But, you know, I'm feeling good because the last 2 weeks have really been a blower with these last 2 losses, and it's good to be not to be on a 3-game losing streak. Let's see. Don says hard looks to form. Glad to see him back. Yeah, he did come back real healthy, and I did like that. Steve said there won't be many teams that win in Seattle. Yeah, that 12th man is a beast. You saw we had control, but once Seattle got momentum, that crowd woke up tremendously, and that stadium is built to keep noise in. So, you know, this is a hell of a win. Like I say, this is going to be a pleasant article to write because I thought this game was a loss. I love my team. I'm optimistic, but I'm also realistic, and I thought this was going to be a loss. Laval got beat down as usual. I think Laval didn't play this game. I got to check and see because they said Morgan Mosby only started at play. I think Ari Kwanjo played left guard. So, yeah, Laval didn't even get a chance to get blown up this game. Kurt takes too many sacks holding the ball. Yeah, Mark, I don't know what it is the last couple of shut up, Taylor. Whenever he hear noise, he bark. He don't ever bark. He a punk. He just hit somebody door. One of my folks coming in take care of some business. You know, like I say, it's gonna be Victory Monday. Everything gonna be cool. But let's see. We got Mark. Mark says Kirk takes minutes at holding the ball. Yeah, sometimes he do, but like I said, the last 3 weeks it's been an issue. But before normally he get the ball out. Hopefully he continues that, get back on that trend, and stop taking those dumb sacks. It cost us last week with the punt, the field goal block. That if though he didn't take that sack before, who knows what would have happened. But hey, hindsight is 20/20. Jennifer says 20 injuries and we beat Seattle at home. Jay, at least this time, let us play. Yeah, he let them play, but he didn't set them up for success. They had to win despite him. That's my personal feeling. Like I say, if I could sit here and call this man plays, and I'm an ex-boys and girls defensive coordinator, what do you think an NFL defensive coordinator is going to do to him? And that's what they did for almost every drive except for those 2 scoring drives. They shut him down. Redskins had no answer. If the defense didn't step up like they did, this game would have got ugly quick. But because Greg Minuski, the true coach on this squad, let's be real, Jay Gruden is not a head coach. He's the figurehead. He should be more like Jason Garrett. Let Linehan run the offense, let Marinari run the defense, and you just look pretty for the cameras. Because that's basically all he is. He got all the jokes in the world when he wins, but when he lose, he got to go check the film or he throwing somebody under the bus, saying a player didn't block properly or he missed an assignment or boom, boom, boom. That's what I'm really getting tired of. And like I told Diane last week, he better hope I don't get my press credentials. Because if I do, I'm going to be that dude that's going to ask him them tough questions that these other media personalities don't. Because they let him skate. That's why our motto is DC Sports without the politics. Ain't no rumors. Ain't no anonymous sources. We put our sources on the air for you to talk to, for you to listen to. We ask the tough questions. Diane even said the questions I asked her, she didn't answer for, she going to ask Jay. So on tomorrow at 3 o'clock, even though I don't even listen to Jay's press conference no more because it's the same regurgitated BS, I'm going to tune in and see if she gets a chance to ask any of my questions. Because I want to know, why are we running out of the three wide receiver formation with a tight end blocking, running back get 2 yards, and Jay's complaining about the running game not effective? You setting them up for failure just so you can poke your chest out and keep throwing the ball. You need to cut that shit out and get that ego out, and if not, we're not going to win. Let's see who else is checking in. I appreciate all of y'all checking in, man. Let's see. Jonathan said he made some clutch throws in the game. Clutch catches by Doxson and Pride. And this is when nudging toward to pay that man his money. Yeah, I agree totally, but if you listen to the show, you can go back to last year. The only way Kurt is going to sign here long term if he realizes this is the best offense he's going to walk into. If he goes to San Fran, he sees what they has there. Sean McVay got Goff playing well out there, so he's not going to have a home out there. Our offense is sputtering right now, but this is an offense that he knows that is comfortable with him, and the line is just unhealthy right now. If the line gets back healthy, he's going to have time to throw the ball, and if Jay runs the ball and allow the play-action game to work, to allow the receivers to get open, because let's be honest, the opposing defenses aren't respecting our wide receivers because they aren't big names. And Jay isn't doing them any service by not setting their plays up or at least disguising what he's doing. He got away with it last year with Pierre and Deshaun out there, 2,000-yard receivers, because they're talented wide receivers that had a name that the defense had to respect. They knew that Deshaun could run past him at any time. Crowder hasn't been healthy all season, so he's not been a true threat. I was hoping him being in the slot would at least take some of the slack off of them, and with Jordan Reed out there. But Reed hasn't been healthy. So unfortunately, it's been tough. For all of y'all guys that's crying about Terrell Pryor, y'all need to hush it up. I'm going to say it before, I'm going to say it again. He's a third-year wide receiver converting from quarterback, learning a new offense. They force-fed him the ball in Cleveland. They don't do that in this offense. Kurt doesn't have the confidence to throw that ball in there. Like you saw what he did with Crowder last week. You saw how he throw the ball to Grant and to Davis. It's because he has built-in confidence and because he's built a rapport with them. He doesn't have that yet. So just relax and let the man develop. Let's see. What else folks got to say? Let's see. Jonathan. Jennifer said, said he thought it was going to be a blowout. Said DJ Swearinger pass play was phenomenal. We need to do more of that for sure. Not us calling every play from TV. Yeah, he definitely got to mix it up. DJ Swearinger, I've said over and over again, I wish we'd have drafted him fresh out of college, but he had to go to Houston, he had to go to Arizona, learn some things, and now he's out there being a true leader, and he's leading his defense. So, like we always say, everything happens for a reason, and that man is doing this thing out there, and with D Hall out there beside him, can't nothing better, but can't nothing else happen but good things, man. Thanks, Rick. You agree, man? Yeah, exactly. It's all a process, man. We gonna be good. Let's see. Val said NFC is back to going to be a toss-up this playoffs. I mean, Philly 8-1. It ain't really a toss-up right now. Redskins 4-4. I don't know about the Dallas final score. I hope they lost. I hope they're 4-4 also. I didn't get a chance to see the final score of the Kansas City game yet. But, Eagles right now the best team in the league, record-wise. I'm still not a full 100% sold, but it is what it is. They beating the people in front of them. That's all you can ask to the people that's on your schedule, even though they got a soft schedule and the Redskins have a tough schedule. But it is what it is. Mark said he liked the screen game, the crisp, but they run it too much. Teams are keen on it. Mark, I've been saying that for a long time. You have to mix it up. At least do wide receiver action with the reverse action come behind the quarterback. Mix it up. At least flip the formation. And then if you ever notice, has he run the screen when he does it, he runs it to the short side of the fucking field. You already know, they already know what you're going to call. And you have the whole other side of the field. And you do a tall sweep or call a screen to the short side. How is that logical? That's football 101. That's football for dummies. You can go get a book at Staples and read that. Why this man doesn't know that? That's what I want to ask him when I get in there. As Corey says, Kurt with no interceptions against Seattle defense. Agreed. Like I said, Kurt played the hell of a game. He was a game manager. He's not a game breaker. He can have game-breaking moments, but he's a game manager. And if you have the run game to lean on and the play-action pass game and a solid defense, this man can lead you to the playoffs and who knows what after that. So, like I said, I'm not a Kurt hater, but when you got to step up, I'm going to call you on it. Just like I called Jay on it when he needed to step up. When he calls a good game, I give him kudos. When he calls stupid stuff, I'm going to step on his throat because ain't nobody else will in this DC media game. That's one of the reasons why Sports on the Hill podcast exists, because I got tired of hearing that same BS every week on the radio, on the TV, the regurgitated BS that they can stay in the good graces, Redskins, foundation, franchise, whatever you want to call it, and stay in the house. I'm not in the house yet, so I can talk trash. And when I get in the house, I'm still going to talk trash. They can put me out, and I'm going to still talk trash after that, because I'm always going to call it how I see it. If you know CP3, you know that's how I roll. Let's see. Steve said Baldwin went past Norman. He seemed pissed with himself. He would not take it to be near him when coming off the field. Hey, football's an emotional game. We had, 2 fights in the 2 games today. Middle of the season, injuries, folks hurting. Stuff happens. They still friends when the season over, when they calm down. They still cool. Emotions run wild. Richard asked how do we fix the running game. Jay has more imagination with his play calling. Before when McVay was here, they would have, misdirection. They would have tight ends pulling, going from side to side motion. You don't see that. And that also helps to see what the defense is calling. You can see if they're in man, they're in zone, they're in cover 3, cover 2, cover 4, by just shifting personnel. Jay isn't even doing that. Like I said, this is coming from a Boys and Girls Club ex-defensive coordinator. So if I'm thinking this stuff, what the hell do you think an NFL defensive coordinator making millions of dollars is paid to watch tape for 20 hours a day? Paid to get in Jay's head and see what his tendencies are. What do you think they see? So all of this stuff talking about the players suck and all this and that, coaching is a very important, vital key in the NFL in winning. And if you don't have good coaching, you ain't got shit. And that's what it's coming down to. Hashtag Bill Callahan for OC. Like I said, I want y'all to start that hashtag with me, because we see who the offensive genius was. We see what McVay is doing in L.A., and we saw what their offense did the year before that. Nothing. This man has them number 1 offense in the league. Todd Gurley has 10 touchdowns alone. Alone. Think about that. Remember our offense last year, putting the numbers top 5? Kurt had a 4,000-yard passing season. putting up 300, 400-yard games, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I went to L.A. with McVay. But Jay making $5 million a year and got an extension and ain't doing jack shit with it. But ain't nobody gonna call him on that. That's cool. Eric, I knew I was waiting on you. Bob Bum Kurt. The man wins the game with a game-winning drive. Doesn't have interception. Backup lineman. Terrible play calling. Hostile environment. 12th man. And you still can't get that man any kudos, man. What did he do, man? Did he rob you at gunpoint when you was at school or something? Did y'all have a run-in or something and he didn't sign an autograph? Tell me what it is, man. Why do you have this deep-seated hate for Kurt? I'm not his fan. You can read my articles. When he plays bad, I fry him. But when he plays good, I'm going to pat him on the back. Because that's what a true fan does. You can't put all the blame on that man. It's 10 other players on that field out there with him. It's 52 other players that go out there, 46, 45 of them on game day. They got to help when that team win. It's not all on his shoulders, even though everybody want to put it on the quarterback. John said the crowd noise was the factor in Kurt hesitating on some throws. Nah, because he's been going on for the last 3 weeks. So if it didn't happen before, yeah. Like I mentioned, I don't know. He's had an emotional roller coaster his last couple of weeks. Had birth of his child. Grandmother died last week. So I'm willing to give him a little pass because he might have some emotional shit going on right now. I can dig that. I'm not going to hate on him. He played a good game today. So I'm not even going to bash on Kurt. He could have, threw the ball away. He ate some sacks that could have cost us. But it's a win. And I'll take that. I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day. I'm going to keep saying that Preston Smith quote because it's the damn truth. Yeah, Steve, players got to get healthy. I'm still chalking up all these injuries to the soft preseason. There's 2 years in a row, Jay has basically soft-shoed through the damn preseason. You saw what the offense looked like week 1, week 2. Luckily, Kurt snapped out of it a little bit early this year. Last year it took him till week 5. This year it took him till week 3. But the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Now, I'm crazy, but I damn sure well know I'm not insane. But I damn sure think Jay is because he went with the same philosophy this year. And Hurt, I got to give a shout-out to you because you said the same thing. You weren't going to say nothing until you saw. The proof is in the pudding, people. We see it. The media making excuses for him. He's making excuses for him. It's time to call that man out. Hashtag Bill Callahan for OC. Keep that shit going, man. Yeah, Val, I'm rooting for Terrell, too. Yeah, people need to get off their back. They think this is mad. You push a button, the player does something. They're human beings. When you was at McDonald's and they put you on fries, you burnt that first order of fries, didn't you? They didn't fire you. They didn't demote you. They let you learn how to get the grease the right temperature. This is just football. They're athletes. They're humans. They just make more money and better at it than you. So cut all of that BS out. They're human beings that have to learn just like everybody else. Oh, Jonathan said Dallas won. Damn it, so now all the Cowboy fans going to come out bragging they beat Kansas City. Oh, damn. Well, we going to focus on us. I don't ever focus on them anyway, but still, the hell with the Cowboys. We'll go on from there. Jonathan said stop throwing short and sidewise. Yeah, I don't know. I've always had questions about Kurt's accuracy. He improved last year greatly, but he's taking a step back a little bit this year. So, I don't know. Like I say, he got a lot going on right now. Contract, grandmother's death, birth of his first child. Even though he seems that cool, I've already told y'all that cool, calm demeanor that he puts on when he's mic'd up and he's out there on when he knows he's on camera. That's not Kurt. We've told you that. That's why it's going to be almost impossible for him to sign it. He's an egomaniac. He wants to be loved and adored by everybody. That's never going to happen here. This is a quarterback controversy town. You can go back to Billy Kilmer and Sonny Jurgensen. It ain't going to change. I'm hoping he sees the light and realizes this is the best place for him because if he goes to San Fran, he's screwed. He don't have a place in L.A. because Jared Goff is playing good. He can go somewhere else, take the money, but I hope he stay here. But if he rolls, I don't know what to say. We got to cross that bridge when we get to it. John says we will have a game left in Dallas. Hopefully by then Elliott will manage to take a suspension. That whole on again, off again, suspended, not suspended. Can we call it what it is? Jerry Jones got money. He's throwing his money around. Even though the suspension I consider unjustified because there was no crime committed, even though there was such a yada yada yada, police were involved, he ain't get convicted, indicted of nothing. So he shouldn't be even get suspended anyway. But like GOP says, it's all politics. So, like I said, the hell with dollars, we talking skins. Kurt need to take off running when he's in trouble. Yeah, he's tentative to run. I think that's, just him being, not trying to get hurt. Remember all the RG3 stuff when he used to run and get hurt. He don't want to hear that sentiment, man. You need to slide. Be careful. Then they're going to bring up That's the thing. He doesn't want no mention of RG. He wants RG3's existence to be wiped from the Redskins franchise and NFL history. He doesn't want to ever hear those 2 letters and 3 Roman numerals ever again in his life. But that's neither here nor there. Jennifer says he lost in the Cincinnati playoffs. I knew it from the beginning. Yeah, but I did some research. I actually did an article when we first hired him. His pass to run ratio was about 53% to 47. He had success with good tight ends. He developed Andy Dalton. I thought those were all good things to say. Okay, I'm not really sold on him, but let's give him a shot. I wanted Zimmer, who's in Minnesota, who's leading their division right now, who turned Sam Bradford into a, decent quarterback. Their quarterback went down. He'll be back soon. Adrian Peterson gone. But he still has that team playing well. Imagine if he would have came here with all the injuries we've had, all the dysfunction we've had. And he's a tough coach. He's not the so-called player coach that Jay is and let them do whatever. But, like I say, hindsight 2020. Scott says he released the glad to see him throw the ball up the docks and try to get it. Yeah, and that's the thing I've been asking about is Kurt is so hesitant to throw interceptions that he doesn't take those chances he was before when he first got the starting job when he was under a secure contract. But I saw the rumors that they saying they wanted Kurt to get the ball down the field more. I'm glad to see it too. It worked out. Doxson made a play. Like I said, he finally held on. Hopefully, that sparks him and gets him going. So, any given Sunday, 1 week at a time, that's what you got to do. Yeah, that's 17:38, Eric. I had to pull it out, man, in the fourth quarter, man. I was trying to chill out and just drink the Buddy White, man, but Jay's play call and that late touchdown, had to pull the bottle out the freezer, man. Birthday coming up, trying to get that bottle of XO. Got to celebrate the 40th the right way, baby. You know how we do. John says the same thing with managing baseball team. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Bobby said, I like that. Yeah, I like that game-winning drive, Bobby. I damn sure do. We need to see more of that. Yeah, Scott, got to give Greg Winusky love for his D. I think I wrote an article when we first hired him, and some of the bullheaded fans that wanted the big name and wanted Wade Phillips in was crying like little babies. That still been crying like little babies, crying about Wade Phillips and what he could have done. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. That man has never built a defense from scratch to do jack. He's inherited defenses that had talent, and he schemed his way in his success. What has he done when he's had to build one from scratch? Not a damn thing. Sometimes you got to go with the no-name dude and switch it up, like the Rams. Went with the youngest head coach in the league, and look at what they're doing. They didn't go and talk about signing the Shanahan or signing some dude that had in the heyday was this or that. They went against the grain and went their own way. So all of that, we need to do this, we need to do that. Either you ride with the team or get off and go be with whoever you want to be with. Same thing I say with a chick, I say with the football team and the fans of it. So I'm tired of it, man. Y'all fans got to get it together, man. How you going to be a fan of the team and you on social media bashing your own team? Then going to get mad at other fans from other teams that do it. You a hypocrite. Either ride or die or hit the bricks, because we don't want you. Redskin Nation is about love and unity and being together, good or bad. It's been a lot of bad, but it's been some good. So either stop being gloom and doom or go jump off a bridge, because I don't want to hear it no more. Let's see. Jarrell says a win is a win. I'm good no matter how we win. Yeah, a little set that we let them hang around the game. I mean, it's Seattle. Seattle's a quality team. At home, I agree. We should have put more points on the board and got more distance. It shouldn't even came down to that last drive. But any given Sunday, man, the other team get paid too. We know what they are. We know what Russell Wilson is. Jimmy Graham, Baldwin, defense still playing good without some of their key players and with the players some of they lost in free agency. I mean, you can't take nothing away from it. It was a good game. Like they said, with all the blowouts that went down today, it was good to see a defensive battle. I'm a defensive coach. I love defense. So, a lot of folks complain about the game and say they wouldn't have. I loved it because the defense balled out. It was actually a strategic battle of Pete Carroll trying to work against Greg Minuski. Jay Gruden against their defensive coordinator wasn't even a contest. But seeing a true coach actually using strategy to outmaneuver another coach that uses strategy and sets up his plays and know how to put his players in a position to win, that was refreshing to see. I don't see that with Jay Gruden. I might see it maybe 3 times out of a 16-game season. It's bullshit. Let a player catch 3 passes out of a 16 in 3 games out of a 16-game season. His ass getting cut next year. This man get an extension. I gotta call bullshit when I see it, man. Bobby says Zach Brown was spying on Russell the all game. They weren't spying him. They were mixing up coverages, mixing up zone, and mixing up man. They were doing some spying. They were doing a lot of cover 3, which I like because that's when you let your corners dictate what your linebackers are going to do. The corners have an option to either go wide into the flat and sit down, or they can go drop back into the flat deeper. So your linebackers read off of that, and depending on what the play is called, they can maneuver off of that, which is a plus for the defense because it gives you flexibility. And especially with the hybrid players that we have that can play multiple positions, it helps the defensive coordinator because he can disguise certain coverages so the offense doesn't know that they're certainly spying or they're cover 3 or this whatever. It takes them a little bit longer. That's why you see the offense use motion or use wide receivers coming around the reverse so the quarterback can try to see what the defense is calling if he hasn't been able to see it pre-snap. So that's why I say it's all the chess game. It's not just about dudes lining up on the field and getting and battling. It's about setting up your plays and setting your team up for success and making the other coordinator think or overthink, like we've seen Jay do previously, overthink things instead of sticking with what's been working. He wants to trick somebody instead of beat somebody. That's the difference in a winning head coach and a mediocre coach. And I'm thinking right now, Jay is stuck at mediocre right now. Greg said the win might help the Redskins make the playoffs, but they still have a legitimate shot at the wild card. Can't win the division already with 3 losses, so they got to win the wild card. And like I say, Minnesota next, Saints next. 2 tough games, got to take it a week at a time. People got to get healthy, and Jay got to snap the hell out of it and start calling better plays. Steve said, just root for all the players. They put in uniform on the play and pride for the fans. No doubt. I'm always going to ride or die for the Skins, but I'm also going to call it how I see it. Like I said, I don't say I know it all. I don't say I know everything about football. I've played, I've coached, I've written for over 7 years, and I've had a radio show for almost 2 years now. People listen, so obviously I know a little something. So, I'm always going to ride or die for my team. Jay's a head coach. I got to ride with him. But when it's time for him to go, and when he's screwing up, I'm going to call him on it. Greg said, how much would I pay Zach? I'm not sure about the salary cap situation right now. I know we're in pretty good position. But with the Kurt situation up in the air, I heard some talks about them trying to trade for T.Y. Hilton, who had a monster game in Indianapolis today. That would play into it. So I don't know. I got to look at the numbers. I haven't looked at the numbers lately, so I don't even want to try to guess at it right now. Howard said, you think D-Hall helped us? Yes, I think he definitely helped us today. His leadership, him knowing, his veteran, presence out there, knowing offense, knowing defense, knowing what to call, and knowing how to line people up. There were several times he was lining people up, moving people over certain spots because he saw certain things. So any veteran presence that's healthy out there that can still make plays is a welcome addition to that defense. Remember how bad they were last year. And I joke, they couldn't get any worse, though. That's why they're playing better. But you gotta take your hat off to this game. And if this game isn't the top game on NFL Network for the week for them to replay, something wrong. Because all the other games was blowouts. I don't know how the Dallas game, Kansas City ended, but this game was a classic. So if they don't put it on NFL Network as the game of the week, we already know how much they hate us. So just bask in that, knowing that they kept us off because they hate us, because they know we played well and we did something they didn't think nobody else was going to do. Robert, Marine, I know if you're watching, I want to see the crying Jordan memes tomorrow. I know you got them ready. I want to see them because I love seeing them every week. When you get them, share them. I'm going to share them too. Ted said we stuck with the run for once. Yeah, we did. I can say for once, I mean, he did more, but I would like to see more running. The rookie, after he fumbled, I can understand him taking him out. But you got to stick with the run. You got to continuously pound the ball and wear that opposing defense down. Yeah, Greg, real fans support the team no matter what, no doubt. Hell to the Redskins for life, baby. You know it. All right, Robbie, thanks for the update. Wizards win. Yeah, I turned the game off. I'm still got this post game on while they sitting there, probably patting Jay on the back still. I don't get into that. Yeah, Robbie, it is going to be a good victory Monday. Wiz, Caps, and Skins won. That make up for last week with the Skins and Wiz and Caps losing. So tomorrow should be another great show. If you missed the 75th episode last week, had a great show. Got another one lined up, like I said. Going to talk Caps from 7 to 7:30. Talk Wiz from 7:30 to 8. Have our music break. Talk Redskins from 8 to 8:30. Have a couple of call-ins, most likely. Then we going to have our boxing expert, Paul Smith, who I'm going to keep on touting this man. He called the combination that was going to knock out the guy last night. I ain't going to try to pronounce his name because he got shitted on. But Wilder knocked him out in the first round with a combination jab right cross. And I'd be damned if Paul didn't call that on our pre-fight breakdown. So, like I say, we don't say we know everything, but we pretty much know what we're talking about. I'm about to bring in, I was about to bring in somebody to join. Oh, there you go. I'm about to bring in Ted. He wanted to join the broadcast. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. Do I think the Eagles will go to the bowl? Hell no. James Scott, Redskin Nation stand up, no doubt. What's going on, Ted? How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, champ. I like listening to you, man. You do good commentary, man. I really appreciate you.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. I love my team. I love my football, and I love talking to trying to educate and let folks know what's really going on with this DC sports media, putting all these rumors and not trying to give people the real deal. Like I say, DC sports out of politics is not just a motto. It's what we do, baby.
That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Good win. I'm happy with it. I ain't mad. I'm not upset. We did a little running today, a little more than we normally did. So I'm happy with that. Like you said, I'd like to see a lot more. But a win is a win, and I'm happy with it.
No doubt, no doubt. So what do you think about this defense? Like I said, I'm a defensive guy. I love defense. And I said at the beginning of the season, I got a lot of slack that this defense was going to be a top 15, top 10 defense. And I got a lot of flack from a lot of folks. They've been real quiet lately. So I'm going to ask you, so what do you think about the way this defense plays, especially with all the injuries that we've had?
Hey, they stepped up, man. Next man up. They stepped up. That's what I like about it. D-Hall came in and made some key plays tonight, some real key plays tonight. Veteran, like you said, put him back there, do his thing. We did good, man. Defense is looking real nice. Zach Brown was an excellent pickup, a great pickup for us, And I didn't know that dude was as fast as he was.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was at first when we picked him up. And I looked at the tape and so he led the league in tackles and Pro Bowl. I was like, how in the hell do we steal him? And now seeing him on the field, yeah, they got to lock that man up long term because he changes the whole complexion of that defense. If we can get a playmaking safety to play like him, that defense will be lights out, man. We get Jonathan Allen back, Brian Anderson, he's back healthy, trying to get great. I think this defense is definitely going to be stand out if, they get healthy.
Yeah, they're going to be something to reckon with for years to come, man. They're going to be something to reckon with for years to come.
So what you think about this Eagles team?
Man, Eagles, I give it to them. But, they're doing the same thing Dallas did last year,
True.
And they get to that one game and it's all said and done. So are they real? Do I believe it? No. But are they doing their thing right now? Yeah, they are. You got to tip your hat to them.
Yeah, I pretty much said the same thing. I mean, they're doing the thing. They're beating the teams in front of them, but am I sold on them? No, but as of right now, they're the best team in the NFL record-wise, so you
right.
Take them from.
Hey, same thing Dallas was last year.
Yeah, 13-3 and out in the first playoff game they was in. I mean, we know the Eagles. You know, we all know the joke. If you want a good girlfriend, get an Eagles fan because she ain't ever going to expect no ring because they can't get one. So we all know the stand joke.
That's
But,
right.
so
That's
what you
right.
think about this matchup with Minnesota next week? What do you think is going to be the key factor in this game next week?
Defense again. Defense wins games. You know what I mean? And our defense has to stay focused like they was today. Don't put it all in this game. You got another game next week. Play just as hard as you did. And our offensive, they'll eventually come around. You know, because I seen Quick make a couple of catches today that he ain't done in a while.
Yeah, Quick. He definitely, he answered the call when he had to step up with Crowder being out. Ryan Grant made some huge catches. I still don't understand why so many fans have a hate for Ryan Grant. Somebody finally answered and said because Jay was always touting him his rookie season. Folks got tired of him, so they got a hate for him now. But I mean, the man goes out there and catches. He does his thing. He quiet. Last week was the first game I saw him actually drop a pass that was thrown right to him.
Yes, you are exactly on the same page as me. The guy is good. That guy catches with all hands. That's it. He don't need his body, nothing. And that one catch he had come across the middle, if he'd have missed it, it was a pick six. That linebacker, that safety was waiting.
Yeah, it was definitely good to see this win. Like I said, I'm the biggest Redskins fan in the world, but I didn't see us winning this game. And for us to go on the road with the injuries,
cold,
like I said, I'm about to stop
raining,
my article in a little while. Yeah, I'm about to stop my article in a little while. Like I said, I'm about to do me a little bit of celebrating, about to take me another drink or two. Might do a Gatorade bath or something. I don't know. But I'm definitely celebrating this win. It's going to be at least the last 2 weeks wasn't a good article, right? This week should be a lot more pleasant. Even though I'm still going Friday, hashtag Bill Callahan for OC. Make sure y'all start that hashtag because we can't continue to have the talent on this team grow and the coaching sit in the same spot and not mature along with the players. They want the players to get better and grow into their roles. The same thing should be expected of the coaches. And him getting a free pass, for him pulling one out of his ass, I can't let that fly. So like I said, I'll be tuned into the press conference tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night for SportsOTHP podcast starting at 7 o'clock. Got a full show.
Washington was
on Facebook Live, simulcast. I started to a live feed also. Still trying to figure that out. Just download the Periscope also. Still trying to figure that out. I got to bear with me. But appreciate appreciate all y'all insight, all y'all love. Thanks,
Peace,
man.
Jack.
Appreciate it, man. Feel free to chime in any other time, man. That's what we
You
do.
know it.
We love fans, baby.
All right. Be easy, champ.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night. Y'all be easy. Sports on the Hill podcast, True Radio Network. DC Sports Out of Politics. Our network is better than yours. We're more than just radio. Y'all be easy. Have a good night.